Today we're talking about an auteur named Jim Jarmusch, an artist, an underrated filmmaker, and I think he's fucking definitely underrated.
Yeah.
Compared to like all like the talk. We've discussed this before about the rankings of your your cinephile journey, and we kind of do it in like
It's like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we have the iceberg, but it's also like, okay, which directors do I think were cool in high school? Which directors do I think are cool in college? And then what directors I think are cool post-college? I feel like Jim Jarmusch, where like I heard his name and stuff, and I like maybe checked him out once, like during college. I wasn't like really big on him. Dude is like fucking a real, like he's up there with any other like dude, like in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
as an artist.
He's good. Like every movie I've seen from him, distinct. He's a poet, and like it clearly comes through in like the way he writes his characters, the way he films, the way he puts his movies together. Like he has so much love and passion for like filmmaking and like being like a kind of bohemian artist, Like no one does indie films nowadays like Jim Jarmusch does indie films,
No.
He's like clearly independent and he's clearly like he's not on the A24 train or anything. Like he's doing it like boots on the ground kind of guy. And he writes stories about characters that are also like that, and I think that's what makes it so compelling is like he's so like I don't know how you say it. Like he's so like
he's idiosyncratic and he's like it's his own thing, dude. Like
mm-hmm.
it's just a Jim, like his movies are Jim Jarmusch movies, They're not. Today we're talking about Down by Law, by the way, from 1985. And like, yeah, you could say that's like a prison breakout movie, but really like I just think of it as this is like a wacky Jim Jarmusch movie.
Well, it's like actively an anti-prison break movie.
Yeah.
I think is what he's going for, right? Like no attention to details paid towards how they break out of prison or like how they cultivate this plan or what life's like in prison. It's just like in a cell. That's it. And like you just have like these three characters interacting with one another and like that's it. It's not about like fucking going to the courtyard or fucking what you're doing on your lunchtime or something. It's just like literally these characters, them before prison, them in prison, and them after prison, And like, I don't know. I just love it. It's so, you just feel like you're following these characters with the camera.
Yeah. It's really about the characters and then their interactions, and then this is a great movie.
And who's it shot by, dude? Is it
Robert Mueller?
Yeah, fucking Robert Mueller, dude.
Man, it's nice to see a movie like that I really am engaged with his cinematography, because he's like a great cinematographer,
He's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And this is like black and white beauty, though. Like, so fucking nice.
I mean, just the way that his approach to editing and then scenes and editing, like if we're gonna see a scene in real time, it's only gonna be one shot. And then if you skip forward in time, he'll like change and it'll be like a new scene in a different angle, and that whole scene will run. He doesn't do any time jumps and like the time, space, and memory aspects where like if there's a time jump, it's not going to be within the same, like if there's going to be a different angle, it's not going to be within the same time frame of the scene that's going on. You know what I mean? Like every like scene is like one shot. People talking, then for cut we're jumping forward in time, and then it's going to be like another scene. If everyone's like, it's just like one shot, and that's like what I love about like his style and his approach. Just like with Another Day in Paradise, Stranger Than Paradise.
Yeah,
it's always just like one shot, and then everything like happens like in that one like time frame. And I love like that approach. Is like so, and it's just like lets like the actors like do their thing.
It's so patient.
Robert Benigni.
What?
Roberto Benigni.
Yeah, he's so fucking good in this. Dude.
Yeah, Roberto Benigni, John Lurie, and Tom Waits.
Tom Waits, is it?
Tom Waits.
Yeah, he's so fucking good. They're all so good in this, dude. Yeah. Oh my god. John
Lurie is my favorite in this. He's just like, I don't know, he's just like a kind of like a tall, lanky kind of gangster type dude. Like, and just like withdrawn, and Tom Waits is like obviously like an alcoholic scumbag, and then Robert Benigni is just an Italian guy who's trying to learn English, and then he gets caught up, kills someone apparently.
Like that's what's so funny is like they're both John Lurie and Tom Waits are set up to be in prison. You know what I mean? Like it's like a trope where you go to prison, like what did you do? Oh, I was framed or something, But like they set it up where it's like these guys actually were set up. And then Robert, what's his name?
Robert Benigni like murdered someone.
Yeah, Robert Benigni like fucking murdered. He just like accidentally killed someone, and he's just this like Italian tourist, you know?
Yeah. But basically, like, we're following these at first two storylines. John Louis' character, who gets he's a pimp that gets set up, and then you got Tom Waits, who's just like a drunken fucking alcoholic DJ, and he gets set up with like having a dead body. Like, he's asked to drive a car across town or something, and then he gets pulled over, and there's like a dead body in there. So he gets sent to. They all get sent to jail, it's prison, and they all end up in the same cell together, and then they slowly become friends, and then they break out, and then but it's really about their interactions and stuff, like hang out with like these guys rather than the actual like plot of the movie. That's like Jim Jarmusch is very influenced by like European shit. He's very influenced by like, this is almost like a Godard movie in a way. Like Jim Jarmusch is so influenced by Godard.
Like, he's so fucking influenced by foreign cinema.
Deconstructing like genre cinema, like crime genre cinema.
It's so fucking... Dude, like, I fucking want more like artists nowadays that have like the influence that Jim Jarmusch has to like make these like kind of European style films, you know? It's
I mean, I see Americans do that, but like I don't think people like the studios, like independent studios or whatever, they're like not really like gonna trying to like make that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of just a thing of its time in the 80s, independent American cinema. And he's working in this movie came out in the 80s too, which is crazy because I felt like there's like a lot of studio dominance and like not as like experimental shit coming out. But like Jim Jarmusch carved his way into the American independent cinema during a time where independent cinema in America was really at a low. Historically, if we're looking back at it, it really was at a low.
Definitely was. Like, I love this movie. Dude. It's such a vibe movie too. It's like so hard to explain. You're just there with them, and it's like a very like quick, like just like calm movie. I feel, you know, there's a lot of like lingering shots in a way. Like I think you're very right where it's like it's just like the scene happens, cuts, scene happens, cuts. But that's like for like dialogue or setting up. There's no exposition, you know what I mean? But there are still like moments where like the filmmaking can be very patient, and I really like that a lot. It's very, like you said, European. Yeah,
definitely influenced. But but like since he's American, he can't like replicate that. But he's like doing like his best, since there's like this American, like this Americana, like
it's very American.
And they're in the South in this movie. They're in the South, and you kind of get that like gritty, like I don't know, like Louisiana, type like swamp vibe to it, which I really love.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful though.
It does.
The black and white photography.
Is it black and white? Is it black and white?
Down by Law is black and white. Yeah. But like Robbie Mueller also shot Paris, Texas, which is like a really gorgeous movie.
It's like really colorful. Like if nothing else, Paris, Texas, we can agree is beautiful.
But Down by Law is funnier than Paris, Texas.
Yeah, it is.
There's parts where you actually like will be watching Down by Law, and you'll even let out like at least a like, you know.
Yeah, at the minimum.
Yeah, at the minimum, but like.
But Paris, Texas is like. It's gorgeous. It's a great movie. It's definitely like revered by most cinephiles, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people like it a lot.
But, you know...
There's no laugh out loud. It's not like a comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not like a laugh out loud like type shit. And like Down by Law is like something you could actually like laugh at because it's actually like funny. Yeah. You know, it's actually like a funny like this kind of these kooky guys, you know? Their shit. It's just the vibe. Yeah, you're right. Like,
but fucking Robbie Mueller, dude, like... What a master, dude.
Yeah, Down by Law deserves its place in the Criterion Collection as well.
Is it in the Criterion Collection?
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
I love this movie a lot. Jim Jarmusch is a treasure to cinema.
What movie do you think doesn't deserve its place in the Criterion Collection? Just so we can watch it and we can say why it doesn't.
Like Brazil?
Yeah, or like
Naked Lunch.
Yeah.